Today in the Senzo Mewa trial courtroom, tensions exploded after Dr. Sibanda attempted to introduce what the defense called a new document during cross-examination, despite the state having already closed its case. And what followed was one of the most procedural clashes yet inside Judge Racha Mohatling's courtroom, because according to the defense, this was not just irregular, this was unethical. The courtroom atmosphere changed instantly when Dr. Sibanda stood up and announced, "I want to introduce a new exhibit, my lord." The prosecution identified the document as a notice of rights allegedly found in the docket and intended to mark it as a new exhibit. But before the state could proceed, Advocate Ramasipile immediately objected, and his objection was direct. He questioned the very procedure being followed. According to Advocate Ramasipile, the state cannot simply stand up during the defense case and suddenly introduce documents as exhibits without firstly applying to reopen its own case. And under the South African criminal procedure, that objection is not meaningless, because criminal trials are governed by procedural fairness. Section 35, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa guarantees every accused person the right to a fair trial. That includes the right to challenge evidence, the right to adequate time to prepare a defense, and protection against unfair surprise tactics. The defense essentially argued that the prosecution was attempting to introduce evidence through the back door after already closing its case. And then came Advocate Mnisi. Mnisi escalated the confrontation dramatically. He accused the prosecution's conduct of being unprocedural and unethical. He even suggested that the court was now reinventing the wheel. That statement carried weight because Mnisi's argument was not merely emotional, it was legal. Under the South African criminal procedure, once the prosecution closes its case, the normal process is the defense presents its witnesses, the state cross-examines, and the prosecution cannot simply begin introducing entirely new evidence material as if its own case is still open. In practice, if the state wishes to introduce additional evidence after closing its case, it usually seeks leave from the court to reopen the state's case. That process is discretionary, meaning the court must decide whether allowing it would prejudice the accused. And South African courts have repeatedly emphasized that fairness is the ultimate test. The Constitutional Court has consistently held that procedural fairness is central to criminal justice. Fair trial principle, procedural fairness plus absence of prejudice. Now, here is where things become even more interesting. Dr. Sibanda argued that the document was already disclosed in the docket. In other words, the state's position was, this is not ambush evidence because the defense already received the documents, and legally, that document does carry some force. South African disclosure principles require the state to disclose relevant docket material to the defense. So Sibanda's argument was essentially the document already existed. The defense had access to it. Therefore, nobody is being ambushed. But the defense countered with a powerful distinction. They argued disclosure alone does not automatically make a document procedurally admissible at any stage of the trial. And that is a critical legal point, because there is a difference between a document existing in a docket and formally introducing that document into evidence during proceedings. Mnisi argued that the state was bypassing procedure entirely. At one point he stated, you cannot simply now go and grab a book on maintenance because it belongs to the law of South Africa and read it to this colonel. That analogy was meant to illustrate one thing: procedure matters, fairness matters, timing matters, and according to the defense, the state was ignoring all three. Now here is where attention shifted sharply towards Judge Racha, because instead of immediately ruling on the objection, the judge adjourned the matter, and that decision is already triggering debate among courtroom observers. Some viewers are now asking, was the judge avoiding making an immediate ruling? Was the judgment intended to buy time, or was the judge simply being cautious before deciding an important procedural issue that could affect later appeals? Legally speaking, adjournments in moments like this are not unusual. A judge may pause proceedings to study legal authorities, to avoid issuing a rushed ruling, or to consider whether admitting the evidence would prejudice the accused. And prejudice is extremely important in South African law because even relevant evidence can become problematic if introduced unfairly. The South African courts have repeatedly warned against trial by ambush. That phrase refers to situations where one side is unfairly surprised in a way that undermines their ability to respond properly. And that appears to be exactly what the defense is trying to place on record here by objecting strongly and repeatedly. The defense may already be laying groundwork for future legal arguments, especially if the court ultimately allows the disputed document without requiring a formal reopening application from the prosecution. And remember, appeal courts often examine whether procedural irregularities may have affected trial fairness. That is why records like this matters. Every objection, every ruling, every adjournment, it all becomes part of the official trial history. But perhaps the most revealing moment came when Judge Ratta himself acknowledged the courtroom tension. He remarked, "I'm sure these people who are in this court are surprised what is happening." And honestly, that single statement may summarize the entire atmosphere surrounding this dramatic exchange, because what unfolded was not an ordinary disagreement. It was a direct courtroom battle over fairness, procedure, prosecutorial conduct, and the limits of cross-examination after the state has closed its case. The big question now is, when court resumes, will Judge Ratta allow the document? Will the state be forced to formally reopen its case? Or will the defense succeed in blocking what they call an unethical procedural shortcut? One thing is certain though, this court confrontation has now become far bigger than a single document. It has become a battle over the integrity of the process itself. And in a trial as controversial as this one, every procedural fight matters. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Hot Series A. If you enjoy breakdowns like this, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below. This is the Hot Series A.
Welcome to the fire where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat.